This is recorded after all of these events. What you are about to hear is a basic exorcism from my path. I call it a Goatian exorcism because I'm very, very close to Sabbatic Goat, Goat of Mendes. But you can feel free to adapt this to any way that you need or choose. You can make it a Luciferian exorcism. You can make it a satanic exorcism. You can make it a general left-hand path, or if you're not on the left-hand path, you can make it a general pagan or New Age or right-hand path. Make it like whatever exorcism. The only thing I don't recommend using the powers of the Nazarene or of the false white light, because that is very underpowered. That doesn't have much power there. At the very minimum, you should, if you're going to invoke anything but you're not open to like invoking demons or dark divinities, you should invoke the name of the sun or the names of the planets, because those are the beings that have power in the universe. And of course, the numinous, the nameless divinity, the dark archetypes, they have great power. They have much, much more power than the planets have. But the planets are a good start to work with. But ultimately, all the power to drive out unwanted energies comes from you. As Uncle Bearheart says, all these names and sounds we're invoking, the archetypes are drawn upon, they are the bullets in our gun. But ultimately, it is you who is aiming and firing the gun, firing these astral bullets at the enemy. So here we're about to hear a Goatian exorcism, and if you hear a whoosh sound, that is actually me swinging my sword. I mean fucking business here. I do not fuck around. I let the fucking enemy know that it's out of its jurisdiction, that it is not wanted, that it has no power, and has no authority. I scream at it, I get loud at it, I tell what I think of it, I tell it to fuck off, and then at the end, I draw upon the nameless, numinous energies to reinforce my fucking law. In this way, the flesh does preside over spirit, because when you are incarnate flesh, you have a right to your own sovereignty. You have your right to your own personal sphere of influence. So if any entity or low vibrational Divic or low vibrational servitor, thought form, whatever the fuck, anything's fucking with you, you have the right to bind, banish, kill, maim, do whatever the fuck you have to do to that motherfucker until it stops. If it's attacking you, you have the right to push back. After that, there was a fumigation of bay leaves, and then at the end of this tutorial, there will be a salt water and oregano bath shower cleansing. Be sure to thank the black and green and whatever spirits of beings of power or your patrons that you work with. Thank you for watching this. Not to Margatet, hail Set. Get the fuck out of my mind! Get the fuck out of my thoughts! Get the fuck out of my emotions! Get the fuck out of my energy bodies! Stay the fuck out of my mind! Stay the fuck out of my emotions! Stay the fuck out of my energy centers! Stay the fuck out of my soul! Stay the fuck out of my life! You have no jurisdiction! You are outside of your jurisdiction, and you have no authority to be here! I don't recognize you! You are powerless! You are worthless, coward, and parasite! I reject you! The numinous force rejects you! The devil rejects you! Lucifer rejects you! The dragon rejects you! Set rejects you!
I make you now uninhabitable. I make myself uninhabitable. I cast thee out. I reject you. Parasite, you're nothing but a hindrance, scourge of the devotee. I reject you. My body rejects you. My mind, my energy rejects you. My toys and animals reject you. The floor rejects you. The patients on the wall reject you. I am now made uninhabitable for you. This room will be uninhabitable for you. My chambers are uninhabitable for you. This whole house is uninhabitable for you. I believe in the nameless and numinous, that which is occult itself, beyond all comprehension. It is beyond all names, beyond all forms. But sometimes it comes as darkness. Sometimes it comes as a goat, or a dog, or a dragon. I cast thee out, parasite. Set rejects you and casts thee out. Lucifer rejects you and casts thee out. The goat casts thee out. The dragon casts thee out. The dog casts thee out. Leave now, so I can continue to worship the numinous and the goat of Mendes in peace. My friend and soul devourer, Prophagolicus, doesn't have to cook you fast. He can cook you slow. You are outside of your jurisdiction. I do not recognize you. I do not acknowledge you. You are completely powerless, now, then, and for all time. You have no place here in this holy temple. You have no spot here. You have no time here. You have no place. You have no space. I reject you. The benevolence reject you. The malevolence reject you. The numinous rejects you. And the devil rejects you. Set casts thee out. The red dragon casts thee out. The holy Goatian force casts thee out. This whole chamber is uninhabitable for you. The whole house is made now uninhabitable for you. My mind is uninhabitable for you. My anatomy is uninhabitable for you. Depart now in the name of the nameless force, Erebeth, Packerbeth, and Volkoseth. Set! Cast thee the fuck out! Remove this scourge of the devotee! That monster, that parasite, has no fucking authority! No fucking power! Cast him out! So I can continue the numinous path and to worship the ghosts in peace.
Now are some bay leaves in this aluminum can sensor. It doesn't matter where you get them from. You can get them very cheap, price right, dollar store, Walmart. Just get a thing of bay leaves and I'm going to sense this room and the entire downstairs with this. A little bit more on the sensor. So what you want is any kind of aluminum can, and you want to cut it in half. Personally, I prefer to use the Cutco Super Shears because they're basically like tin snips in regular shears. But any large scissors will probably do. Aluminum cans are super soft and easy to cut through. You could probably just crush it and just cut it straight in half in one go. I didn't. I cut around in a circle. So what I did, you see where like it's really like chewed up right here. So I had to take a pin and I had to like make a bunch of holes in a line to get it started. And basically I just stuck my shears in there and just cut while spinning the can on the inside. It's very, very messy. And then I took some pliers and I bent all the sides in. Then you take a thumbtack and you put a bunch of vent holes like this at the bottom. And this is the important part because you want air to flow through this. You want air to flow through this easily so you don't have to keep relighting it over and over again. Put holes on the bottom, the side there, make a couple of rings of holes in there. It's pretty easy, very, very thin. But making holes on the bottom of the can, a little bit trickier because it's a little bit thicker, so you will have to push harder than just pushing it into the side of the can. But as long as you got a bunch of holes on the bottom of the can there, the airflow can go through there. You don't need a sensor, you don't need no expensive brass incensing device. You can just get an aluminum can. And so what you're gonna do, you just get a pair of pliers. That way you don't have to hold a warm can and risk burning yourself. Just hold it like this. Get a simple torch lighter like that. And these are the bay leaves inside. And I'm just going to do it for you real quick. Just show you. Just to light it. Stir around a little bit so you get smoking. Bay leaves are really, really good for removing low vibrational spiritual entities. It's also good for your lungs. It's good for the house. It's basically, it does the same thing as smudging does. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to smudge my room. I'm going to smudge the hallway. I'm going to smudge this area with the bay leaves there to further drive out and remove the fucking testicle unwanted energies, whatever remains of it. It's no different from calling an exterminator. You don't give them any quarter. If you got cockroaches, if you got rats, what do? You call in an exterminator. You don't play. Same thing with the astral. What do? You got unwanted spiritual energies. Banish, 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 and you get some bay leaves and you get some incense and you fucking smudge the shit out of that with the incense, because the incense is like poisonous gas. It's like poisonous Zyklon B to these motherfuckers. It is literally cockroach chemical bombs to these fucking low vibrational entities. That's exactly what you want to do. It doesn't cost you any money at all. Probably like $5 tops. The most expensive item from this is probably the torch lighter, because you do want to get it nice and warm on the inside. I'm going to hold it with my hands and just show you. Just get it in there, just put it around in there until you hear the crackling. And that's getting really warm very quickly. And be very careful with this too. You don't want to use bay leaves. You want to contain the fire. You don't want it, you don't want to set anything on fire other than the bay leaves. And once you got it burned, just keep it moving. Keeps the airflow going through it, and it keeps the smoke coming up.